Get everyone in the same room. Hi, Oceana. How are you?
Hi. I've been waiting. I'm over here doing the homework with my son right now. So I'm going to put myself on mute, but I wanted to speak. I wanted to be in here.
Yes, welcome. Welcome.
Yes, ma'am.
It's good to have you in. So, just to reset the room so everyone knows what we are doing today. So, today's discussion is for women who want to go beyond just the dream phase into their reality. You may already even be in your dream, working on your dream, but you feel stuck. So today's topic is called Get Unstuck. Get Unstuck. So we are going to be giving tips on how to get unstuck and just sharing, and people others are going to come on in a little bit on Clubhouse that we're going to share with and discuss, hey, what ways can I get unstuck? So I'm going to ask for specific, questions and such from women who are either in business or who want to start a business, or you simply just have a dream that might not even be a business. So what that might be, let's hear it and let's help you get through that. So that is one. So let's just give it a little bit for others to join us. All right. So get unstuck.
I'm pinging.
Yes, start pinging them. There you go. There we go. Let's get them in this room. Let's see who is on. My girl is in here. Right. Let's see who else is on. All right, so we're getting a few people in here. So welcome for those who are just joining us. You are listening live, a broadcast brought to you by Meant for Her, a social enterprise for women. And today's topic, we are talking about getting unstuck, getting unstuck. So this is for women who dare to dream and turn it into reality. And today's topic is getting unstuck. So how do I get unstuck? And we're going to be asking, I'm going to be asking everyone who's here, if you want to come on stage to ask questions. You might be getting stuck in certain parts of your business or a certain project you're working on. This is your time to ask any questions you may have. You may be still in the idea stage and you just want someone to help you run through it. So just a little bit about my background. I was a previous corporate executive that now turned entrepreneur. So I come with a lot of business background. And in my transition, I started working with women through Meant for Her to help them really realize their dreams. So I say there's no such thing as impossible. There's no such thing as impossible. So if you have a business, a business problem, I call them opportunities. It's all about how you think, right? I call them opportunities. If you have a business opportunity that you feel is making you stuck in what you want to do, this is the room for you. Let's talk about it. Let's get you unstuck and into acceleration stage. So I have on with me on the stage, Oceana. Melodic, if you want to come up, that's fine too. Just raise your hand. But we are going to be talking about being stuck. Is there anyone that has ever felt stuck, like you just felt like you couldn't move forward with your dreams and your goals? This room is for you. Number one, the biggest thing to get unstuck is the mentality. That's one of the biggest things. I believe that my philosophy and my method of coaching is it first starts in your mind. It first starts in your mind. The way you think about a problem. See what I just said earlier, right? A lot of people call things problems. And they say, I have this problem in my business. But what about you start to think about it as an opportunity? I have this opportunity in my business, or I have this opportunity in my life. And I believe when you start to think in that sense, it eliminates any type of barriers that you've surrounded yourself with. You have to think beyond what you're experiencing currently. And if you think longevity, if you think in the future, you have to realize that what you're going through right now is probably temporary. And what happens is a lot of us, especially women, we overthink things and we allow it to cripple us. And that thought process then carries into our business, into our life. And we're like, I can't move forward. But no, it's all about how you first think about the opportunity. So first of all, let's change, the way we think. And one of the ways to stop that and improve our way of thinking is to replace limiting beliefs with empowering beliefs. Replace limiting beliefs with empowering beliefs. And one of them is just changing your language. Like, I have an opportunity, not I have a problem. I have an opportunity. So let me stop there and ask, does anyone have a question concerning that? Do you have a question concerning that? And Melodic, you are free to come on if you would like. Let's ping a few people into this room. Let's do it. Really want to make, the best of our time today. Let's ping a few persons in and have them, because today what I don't want, this is not about me. This is not about, getting my voice out there, but this is more about helping women get unstuck. So is there, something that you're working on, or you just feel like you're stuck? Like, share with us. As you share with me, then I'll give you advice on how to get unstuck. So let me know as we ping others into the room.
I'm pinging.
Sometimes with Clubhouse, people's let's see. So, all right. So sometimes people's, notifications are turned off or you can't reach them. So thank you all for who's joining. As I said earlier, let's reset the room and let's just talk about how to get unstuck. So many times we, as women, and I said earlier, for those who weren't in the room, it first starts with your mind. It's a mindset thing. A lot of times business owners or women who want to go and do something great, the reason why you're stuck is the way you're thinking. The first place you need to work on is your thought process. And I said earlier, instead of thinking about something as a problem, replace it with it's an opportunity. And I'll tell you why I learned that methodology. So you hear a lot of people talk about mindful thinking and all of this and that. But in business, in consulting, and people who problem solve, that is a main principle. When we come into companies and they say, we have all these issues, the first thing we tell the teams that we're leading is, well, let's look at it as an opportunity, right? And when you look at a problem as an opportunity, it gives you that sense of, I can overcome this because there's an opportunity lying at the end of solving this issue, right? So that's the first step, is to get your mind, get your mindset really just aligned to opportunities and not necessarily problems. Because when you overthink it, and another thing we women do is analysis paralysis, right? We overthink things. We're thinking about currently, I have this issue, but what we're not thinking about is, well, this issue I'm having may potentially lead to an opportunity down the road. I was in a room today with a startup room, and in that room they're talking about building technology for your company. And one of the things that stood out to me is the lady was talking about how if you want to build technology for your company, the first thing you want to do is identify the pain points. And I teach on that a lot. That's part of your value proposition process, to identify your customers' pain points before you even design products or services. So think about it in the sense that if you start to put your mind in that place of, this is not a problem, this is an opportunity, this is something I can solve, then you get yourself out of that place, that position where you see yourself stuck, and then say you're now in movement. The movement for you is, hey, there's an opportunity line on the other side. So why don't I put some actions to actually get to the end of this? So hopefully that's helped. If anyone wants to come up to the stage and you have a question, welcome Sasha, and welcome Crystal, welcome Angela. Okay, so Melodic wants to say something. I do apologize. I didn't see that you were, let me see how I can bring you in. All right. Not sure why it's not letting me bring you in, Melody. All right, so let's invite you to speak. There we go.
Raise her hand, maybe. Do you have a but there she go.
Yep. Hey, Melody, how are you?
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. I'm good.
I was, when you said about being, I guess, like getting unstuck, like, I just did this vision board thing, and I have this thing about self-care with myself, and I'll do anything and everything for you, but when it comes to me, I guess, trying to do it for myself, I don't really want to bother people for help, but I think that that's one of my downfalls.
Okay.
So I guess my question is, like, exactly, like, what, I don't want to be a bother. Like, what's too much to be asking for?
Absolutely nothing. So, I'll give you an example. I'll use myself as an example. And I actually had this conversation. And thank you so much, Melodic, for that question. It's a question that I believe a lot of women need to hear, especially us women who are entrepreneurs. You're wearing many hats, right? Women, we wear so many hats. It's ridiculous. And I'm going to give you my viewpoint, something that I have come to understand and I've embraced. So I've always been, and I think it comes with your personality, Melodic, because I was like that, right? And I said, what? I was that person where I was the go-to in the family, friend circles, everything, right? I'm always doing for everyone else. I found joy in doing that. Little did I know, after 34 years of my life, that this is the path that God would have for me, which is, helping other women. So it goes in line with my personality. But this is the thing, though, you have to remember, Melodic. Nothing is too much for you to ask for you to feel, loved or cherished or helped. You have to start putting yourself, you have to prioritize you. I always use the scripture that says, love your neighbor as you love yourself, right? Even if you don't believe in the Bible, think about that scripture. Even if you don't believe in, if you're not a Christian, right? Love your neighbor as you love yourself. And I realized I was putting everybody else ahead of myself. And guess what? That's part of being stuck, because what happens is you no longer have capacity. So let's talk about capacity. Capacity is the ability to take on projects, to, maybe build my business, or, be able to go and build multiple streams of income, take a vacation. That's right. You're building capacity to do those things, to read. Now I have the capacity to open a business. I have the capacity to open another branch. You need help to do that. You can't come into that space because what you're doing, Melodic, is this, what we call the unlimited capacity mindset. Unlimited capacity mindset says, there's no limit to my capacity, my personal capacity. I, Melodic, do not have a limit to what I can do. So you have to come to that place where you say to yourself, I do have a limit. I have a limit with time. I have a limit with the amount of burdens I can take on. And that's where you start to delegate and allow people to help you. I had to come to a place where I had to, when people said, do you need help? I realized it was coming from a place, almost a prideful place, without realizing it. Like, oh, I got it. No, I don't need help. Right. But I started to ask for help. And then guess what? It opened up my capacity. Like tonight, I'm here talking to you all, right? I'm here talking to you all, and I'm able to help other women get unstuck. Right now, I'm a mother of two. I should be dropping off my oldest at dance, right? But tonight I said, hey, family, I have a live session on Clubhouse, and I need to speak, right? I need to coach these women. And guess what? My mom said, oh, don't worry. I got, I have the oldest, and I'll take her to dance. I'm increasing my capacity to do other things. I got, you guys can't see me, but those who can see my face, like, I have my makeup on. I feel good as I'm talking to you guys. I did my hair. I took a shower. Let's start to normalize getting help. It's okay. It's not a weakness. It's okay to ask for help. You don't have unlimited capacity, Melody. You have to remember that. So because you don't have unlimited capacity, you're not a robot. You're not, even robots shut down. Even technology breaks down sometimes, right? You have to be able to ask for help. But I think it also comes from a place of, I think you need to do some deeper, like a deep dive into where is this coming from. I believe for me, it came from my childhood. It came from a place of, and I'll just be very transparent because I think this might help you. It came from a place of, coming from a single mother home. My mom was always, doing it all, and I got it, I got it, I got it. So I think I embodied that growing up. And then I am, fast forward, a mother of two, married and everything. And it took me to unlearn those habits. I came to a place where I had to unlearn it in marriage. Like, no, if your husband says, do you need help? You say, yes, honey, I need help. If somebody, even a friend, asks you, you need help. Yes, I need help. Can you please help me do this? Because then it allows me to get unstuck and do those things which I need to do. Hopefully that helped you, Melody.
It did. I mean, it's a long struggle. And like you said, I didn't have a single, my mom wasn't single. She was married, but she was the person who did everything. You know what I'm saying? So
right.
In my mind, it's like if nobody else does it, it still got to get done, and you got to get it done.
Right.
So that that mindset, I mean, I haven't been able to get rid of it. It's like, okay, I might give you a couple of days to do it, but if it's not done, then I'm like, okay, I got to figure out a way to do it. And I think that I've taken on so much that I really, really do need to kind of dish it out to other people.
Right.
But I also have to think about, are you going to do it right?
Okay.
It's still my name that looks bad.
True.
If you don't do it correctly.
True. So you also have, I believe people who have our type of personality have this control thing too, right? We have to control it, right? But I think you need to come to that place where you think end result, because you're a goal getter. You want a certain result, right? So if you put yourself in that mental space of, this is the end result I want, right? I want this end result. And then I map out different ways to get there. So let's say this path A doesn't work out. I quickly can switch and say, okay, this one didn't work out. Let me go to B, or let me go to C, right? Our mind works that way. So you don't want to necessarily put yourself in a bind where you rely on someone that's not, reliable, right? So you have to have multiple options. But at the same time, don't put yourself in that place of limiting your capacity by taking on too much, because you're like, oh, this person won't do it right. Another piece of advice I'll give you, because this is going to get you stuck. So last year, I've been doing we started Meant for Her in 2018, 2019, we officially launched. I was stuck with a lot of things I was doing because I was trying to do it all. But then again, my training, my business background tells me otherwise. Outsource, outsource, outsource. But I was like, but this is my baby. This is my dream. This is, this is what has been placed on my heart to do for women. Like, I don't want to then give it out to someone and they either screw it up, or, we've been talking in other rooms about people taking people's ideas. I mean, there's so much that can happen, right? But guess what I did? Instead of limiting my capacity to be able to, keep working on my consulting business and launch Meant for Her, I started outsourcing. I brought in a team. I found people who I could trust. But at the same time, because I know I had those concerns, so don't dismiss your concerns. Don't dismiss the concern that, look, maybe this person won't do it the right way. What you need to do is make a list of what you're looking for. So when I found those members for my team, I jumped on them. I take care of them. I celebrate them. I teach them. I coach them. I mentor them. I lead them, and I give them reign to do what they need to do. I stopped trying to, control everything. And guess what? We went further. Because of them, we were able to, my team members allowed me to do more. So you have to come out of that place of, I got to do it all. If not, your dreams will never come to realization. You will literally cripple yourself. Anyone else want to get on stage? Come on, Crystal and Sasha, come on, let's get on stage and let's talk. Tonight is really just almost like a girls' night kind of thing. Like, let's chat. And for those who are on StreamYard, if you have any questions, you can type them in. I can bring you in. You can also ask questions. So if there's anyone that has any questions, I believe you can put it in a private chat and I can read it out and we can kind of talk about it tonight. So anyone else? Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Doing my son's homework right now, but I'm listening in, but I have some questions for you.
Yep, go ahead.
Thank you so much, girl.
You are welcome. You are definitely welcome.
My life.
Just keep following us. We're going to keep doing this. All right, Oceana, do you have any questions? Or, okay, you said you were doing homework. So when you're able to talk. Hey, Crystal. Hey, girl.
Hey, how are you?
Introduce yourself.
Oh, hello, everybody. My name is Crystal. I'm the owner of Sage and Apothecary. My company creates plant-based products for the bath, body, home, and pet. And we are really into expanding our business further into the indie space for products. And of course, we offer retail, wholesale, as well as direct-to-consumer. And I love teaching women on how to build and sustain their business, e-commerce, retail, etc. So I appreciate you guys having me, and I'm excited that you brought me up just to say hello. I appreciate it.
Yes. All right. So Oceana, did you have any questions? So Sasha, feel free to jump on. This is your opportunity to ask questions and have women, other women, myself and others to kind of answer. All right. Hey, Sasha, good to see you.
Hi.
Or good to hear your voice.
Thanks, I hope this right. But yeah, a little bit about, I guess kind of to phrase the question, but I'm a single mom to 3 kids, and I just got certified to be a life coach. I've kind of been living my dream doing acting, which has been really great. But I just really want to give back and help others. But I'm at that point where it's like I'm trying to figure out how to be this entrepreneur, and I don't even have people in my family who are that way. They're like the traditional 9 to 5, and I just don't know how. I just don't even know what to do next.
So
if that makes sense.
So congratulations. It makes absolutely plenty of sense. We've all been there. Let's normalize. Let's normalize this process of, because people come onto these platforms and they want to come off as this, superhumans, right? So every woman has been in your shoes where we've said, I want to start a business. I'm just not sure, right? I don't know how to move forward. I don't where do I begin? So the first step is for you to dream. And I'm glad you're here, right? It's for you to dream as big as possible. It's for you to list out your vision. Write it down. Early next month, we are going to be doing, when I say we, for those who are just joining us, Meant for Her is going to be doing a vision. We call it our vision setting workshop. And it's where women can come together, and I teach you guys how to, myself and another facilitator actually will teach you guys how to write down your vision, right? Dream as big as you want, but then turn it into action. So that takes away all the guesswork of, well, I don't know what to do, because what normally happens is people have these dreams and it's stuck in their head. You won't believe, Sasha, how many times women come to me and say, I have all these ideas, but it's in my head, Vanessa. So we bring it out of your head, right? We put it into paper, and then we action, we create an action plan around it. But the thing with vision boards, and people, you hear vision boards and you almost get tuned out. I know when I used to hear vision boards, I'm like, what are these people talking about? Because I come from a corporate background. I'm all about results, just get it done. What are you talking about? We don't have time to vision anything. But then I had to take 10 steps back and say, oh, it's almost similar to when we would, launch a product line, right? A new product line. We would start from the design phase, right? New product development, design phase, looking for suppliers and envisioning how will this thing look like? How will it operate? The engineers will come and say, well, I need it to, not heat above this amount of degrees, Vanessa. I need it to be made of thermoplastic or whatever. And then it's finally clicked like, oh, this is the same thing. You first visualize it, but then I believe what helps is having someone who has gone ahead of you. And that's something I will pitch here, that to get unstuck, right? I do recommend that you get a coach, a business coach, a mentor that has gone ahead of you, that knows business, right? Has had some potential losses. Now, I'm not saying, because a lot of people come on here and they want to pitch to you that they've not failed in anything. And I'll just put that out there. If any coach tells you they've never failed, run away, because everybody has made some kind of mistake. Everyone has failed at something. Like, we've launched product lines that didn't work, right? And we went back and we pivoted, or we restructured, or whatever, right? So even in the big guys, the Fortune 500s, the 200s, they've made mistakes, right? So any coach who tells you, so find a coach who has made mistakes that can say, look, I went down this path, that wasn't the right path, but I found a better path, and it can help you accelerate faster. Now, that's the coach you're looking for, that can show you the failures, but then they give you the success path, right? So I say, write it down, because even in this vision board, vision setting, I don't call it vision board, vision setting workshop, you have to come prepared with your dreams, right? And then put it where you can visualize it, and then put some actions to it. So I would say that's what I would recommend.
I love it.
All right.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. And thank you very much.
All right. Anyone else in the room? So let's reset the room. For those who have just joined us, DeWanda, thank you for joining. This room is really about helping women. Hold on a second. Let me just mute. All right. So this room is about helping women get unstuck. I believe that a lot of women are stuck with either their dreams, their vision, and they just don't know how to go forward. Or you are a woman like myself, that you've been in business, you've had a career, you're doing all these things, but there's always a time where we do feel stuck. Let us not deceive ourselves. There's always a period where you're like, I don't know what to do in this direction. How do I move forward? What do I need to do? So if that's something, DeWanda, you want us to help you with tonight, let us know. You can raise your hand and I can bring you up to the stage and you could ask questions. So tonight is not about me. It is about helping you ladies get unstuck. It's about helping you all find tips, on getting unstuck. So number one, I said, was mindset, right? It's all about how you look at the issue. Is it an issue? Is it a problem? Right? But what did we say? It's an opportunity. It's an opportunity for you to actually do better, get better. So if it's a business, it's an opportunity for you to improve a process, improve your profits, improve your customer service. It's always an opportunity. So instead of thinking of a problem as a problem, you have to start thinking about it as an opportunity. So that was one of the things we talked about. Also, one of the questions was, hey, I really want to get into business. How do I do this? I'm not sure where to start. Well, first start by congratulating yourself that you are, thinking outside the box, right? You're not thinking just a 9 to 5. You're thinking outside the box and you want to create wealth, for yourself and perhaps something that can be transferred. So congratulations on that. But then, okay, how do I move forward? You move forward by writing down your vision. What is the vision I have? What does it look like? And dream as big as possible. What does that look like? What is that life I'm trying to build through this business? I think when you have that, you're able to build the business in the manner that you envision. So for example, I've been in business now 3 years, but before that, I had over 14 years of corporate experience. And one of the things I've started to do recently in my business is start to set boundaries in terms of time. My time management, how many bookings will I allow in a day? How much clientele do I want to work with in a day? I literally booked out the whole Wednesday not to work because I said to myself, Vanessa, what was one of the reasons why you started a business? It wasn't so that you could feel like you're back in that corporate rat race, right? Where you're climbing the invisible corporate ladder. So Wednesdays, I no longer take on clients. It's just my day to reset and get my mind, meditate and whatever else I want to do. So I would say, definitely to get unstuck, you have to have envisioned that life that you want so that as you're building the business, you don't go back into a place of being stuck. And being stuck comes in different ways. It comes in, mentality. So DeWanda wants to come on. Let us get DeWanda on. Invite to speak. All right. Come on, DeWanda, you're on.
Can you hear me?
Yes, certainly can.
Hi, Vanessa. How are you?
I'm good. You?
This is my first time on Clubhouse, so I'm a little nervous, but I'm comfortable with you, so I'll just speak. I had two things to say about being stuck. I think with starting a business and having so many dreams and so many goals and so many tasks, you get a little confused. You get one accomplishment going, and then you think you're going on to something. And it kind of derails you from where you were going, and then you kind of have to start over, or you start another task or something else to help build up the business. And I think sometimes I feel like I'm drowning almost. Like I'm doing so many things to try to get the business going and going to the next step. I don't know which way to go sometimes. I think the business coach is a good idea. I was thinking about that. But do you think the business coach should be in the same industry, or should it be someone outside of the industry?
So I will answer that two ways. I do believe that I don't necessarily think that your business coach should be in your industry. I believe your mentor, right? So there's a difference to a certain degree, right? So you can have a business coach. So business coaches can have very varying backgrounds. And the reason why I will encourage that you get someone who is a business coach in the sense that they're strategic, they understand business, they can give you solutions, and they're not competing in your space, right? So their whole purpose is to get you to that next level. Now, a mentor could be in your space, right? So take, for example, our motto at Meant for Her is we give you business coaching, right? We can help you with a business plan. We can get you unstuck when you're stuck in a certain thought process, or you want to launch a certain product line and you're stuck in a certain area. We can coach you through that. Now, your mentor, right, who is in your field, may have a little more connection in that industry to say, hey, here's the breakaway path that you need to take. Now, we provide both. We provide the coaching and the mentoring. Now, I want to address your first question. I want to address the first part that you started with, which was, and this is what I'm hearing as you're speaking. You know, sometimes I feel like I'm chasing different paths, and it's almost like chasing, right? Because what you're doing is called multitasking. What you're doing is called multitasking. What you need to do is you need to, for your business, right? And let me just, maybe you could tell us a little bit about your business. So, but I think I get it just from looking at your profile. So for your business, it seems like you're wearing multiple hats. You're trying to do multiple things. So number one, you need to, first of all, you have your goals, right? You have your business goals. You're the owner of this company. You have your goals. You know what you want to go after, right? Now you got to ask yourself, what are my strengths? Those strengths, focus on that. Anything outside of that, whatever is your weakness, I can guarantee you the things that are distracting you are your weaknesses, right? You need to be in front of your customers. You want to make sure, and maybe not necessarily your face, but your brand being in front of the customers, right? Sale, market, connect with my clientele. Now, what you want to do is you want to outsource anything else that's not your strength. Because what that will allow you to do, DeWanda, is to focus. It's going to allow you to focus. And I you know what? We especially we women who gain, we started businesses and we want to do everything. We want to take on everything. But the first step is to say, okay, what does this business do? What are my goals? And then what are the items I can outsource? Always outsource your weakness. If your weakness is branding and marketing, outsource it. Because then it gets you to that place of, let me just focus on my strengths. And then another thing to help with the distraction is time management. Tracking how you use your time, right? Asking yourself, okay, today, did I meet the goals that I set? Am I still kind of touching back into those areas that I've outsourced, right? You got to let go. Another thing is we have this mentality of, I want to eat the whole pie, and I'll introduce that in this room. So there's a phrase that I coined, eating the whole pie mentality. A lot of business owners, especially small business owners, have this mindset that, you know what, I want to get the most profit, so I'm not going to outsource. I'm not going to partner. I'm not going to collaborate. But this is what I always say. When you eat a whole pie, you become obese and you can't move. You become sluggish. You become stuck. But if you eat a pie and you take a slice today and another slice, maybe tomorrow, another slice tomorrow, you end up getting as much slices as you want and need without becoming obese. Now let's break that down into business. A lot of people are biting off too much than they can actually chew. So what ends up happening is they become stuck in their business. They're no longer able to create. You're no longer able to be creative and strategic and move as fast as you want to move. Does this happen to just small businesses? No. This is why you'll find that Fortune 200 and Fortune 500s and 100s and the big companies that we all love and look upon, that's why they outsource. They outsource like crazy because they realize that they're so big, they can't move as fast and nimble as a smaller company. So they outsource portions of things in their business to make sure they move fast. And we call that agility. So agility will then take you out of that place of overthinking, over processing, trying to do everything and being stuck. Does that help?
That does. And you're very correct. The weakness is what's distracting me. It is, my business is healthypie.org. It's a CBD e-commerce, and my passion was to educate and bring awareness. And I got into products because people were asking about the products. Now I don't like to sell, but if I'm going to do it, I wanted to give the best quality, affordable, and that takes a lot of time, a lot of research and development. And I put a lot of research and development in the company, and it took me away from what I really wanted to do, which was teach and bring awareness. So that's exactly what happened.
Okay. So I'm glad that helped. Your next step is, so I don't want us to just have these conversations, right? So your next step is to what? You got to make that list. What are my strengths? My weaknesses, I need to outsource. What I heard you say in the second statement is, I don't want you to lose like that potential stream of income though, right? What I want you to do is I want you to consider, how can I outsource this to maybe like a company that will provide that type of service. Maybe there's a young upcoming entrepreneur who wants to learn sales and and loves to be in front of people, is very techy, can create content, can reach out, can make calls, whatever it is. Can I outsource that? And maybe you're thinking, okay, maybe I can't afford outsourcing, right? Because that's another thing. We always think I can't afford outsourcing. Well, I'm here to deliver the news. So not only do I run Men for Her, I also run a consulting firm where our job is to bring in what we call freelancers to help you in your business. So if, for example, it's a marketing or branding or product, development, or an engineer, we're really technical because the space I'm in consulting is manufacturing. So a lot of times we even have engineers. We have software developers. We have all kinds of people, just put it that way. So you're in the right room. If you need to outsource that part of your business, let's find an outsourcing, like a freelancer that can help you. Of course, we'll protect you by signing certain, work agreements so that person doesn't run away with your information. That's always important, right? So we will make sure that, so you got to think outside the box. How do I leverage my strengths and minimize my weaknesses so I can really be agile in my business, so I can really move and not have to worry about the day-to-day? Because it sounds like now you're like, I'm not an operations person. So let me rephrase that. You're saying I'm not an operations person. I'm not I don't want to operate this thing day-to-day and be in sales and figuring this out and that. You want to do the educational piece of things. So what you're saying to me is that, Vanessa, in the near future, I want to position myself as the subject matter expert in this industry, right? So you want to be going on shows, you want to go on, podcasts and different things and industry meetings and get your name out there. But I will have to say, I've worked with a client who has your type of business. Your product line is important because there's money there. So what you need to do is find an operations manager. Hopefully that solved it. You need an operations manager who will operate this business with you, but perhaps as a freelancer. I think that will really help you get unstuck. Okay.
That was very helpful. Thank you
All
very
right.
much. I'll contact you
later this week.
Okay, so if you go to our Meant for Her page, you could click and you can book any, coaching. We've made it really just simple. Crystal knows this, and some who have been following me, even though she's one of my clients, she knows this. Like, we've made it so simple. It depends on where you are in your business, what you can afford. We're out here to really just to help people, honestly. So reach out to me. Let's connect. Okay.
I will. Thank you, Vanessa, so much for your help. It was very helpful.
All right. You are welcome. Anyone else? I mean, we've been on here since 7:40. I mean, since 7. And it's 7:41 now. So by 7:45, I am going to close the room. As I said earlier, and I want to hold myself to that, I'm being very, intentional about my time management, because productivity. So just like I told you guys, stop multitasking. That's one of my goals this year, is to stop multitasking, trying to do everything and just manage my time accordingly. So anyone else? Crystal, you want to join me up here, sis? I'm tired of talking. Let me get her up here.
I'm back now.
All right, Oceana, I know you had questions.
Yes.
Let me see if I can get my girl up here.
Elaborate on what you just said. That's your goal. That's also my goal too. I'm starting to realize that maybe an ADHD problem or something. I tend to run into so many things and want to do so many things at once. And I know we, touch base on those things. And now my question is how do I get out of those phases? Because I see that I'm very overwhelmed, and I see that I'm trying to tie everything up in one, as a mom, as a business owner, everything just all together. And now that I'm like, okay, I can't do that, because I see that I'm stressing, I'm overwhelming myself. And I know that I need to get to a point where I need to focus on one thing and I need to focus on another. But being that I have that mindset already, that I need to get this done, it's always running. How do I get to that spot where I can just, being that I know what I need to do, how do I start? How do I get to that of calming down and settling down? I would encourage you to make a list and prioritize what needs to be done first. Literally, some things are more important than others. If it's something like the content planning for your social media, then I think that, making a list of which social media platforms you want to use, which ones you can tie together so that when you, post on one, it posts on the other. I think it's really important that you're intentional with your time, and that you prioritize your tasks, and that not all tasks need to be done every single day, but some need to be done every other day. I think that's the key. And then ensuring that you have, that your time is well spent. So it's quality time. So if you're going to give yourself 30 minutes to a task, then from there, I think it's really important that is a very intentional 30 to 45 minutes in that task, and that you have a checklist made. Okay, gonna open my emails. I haven't checked them, I don't know, since Friday. I'm gonna work all the way down. I'm gonna give myself 45 minutes to work 2 or 3 days worth of emails.
Crystal, with that being said, I understand the points of, I think it's a lot of problems in this area when we tell our others to have set goals, the steps that we need to do. Because it's a thing, like, I understand the goals that I need. Like, they're clear in my head that I know I need to do this. I know I need to set out 30 minutes, things of that nature. However, I still run into, that's why I'm getting it. I still run into, if I write down my goals, I got to the point that I can write down my goals now. I write them all down, and then I'm like, oh my God, this is the goal that I need to have to go at this point. Like I say, my mind wanders. And I'm trying to get to a place like, I can write these goals down, and I can put down what I need to set up those goals, 30 minutes of that, or what I need to do within that time, 20 minutes of what I need to do within that time. And then I have like other things in that same goal. And I'm like, now I'm starting to babble everything around. I need to get to a point where I can't just set out my goals. I have even a vision board, and it's scrambled all together. And they're not organized, but it's a vision board.
And I know we write our goals down, we write those down, but how can we prioritize those goals when we know that we have those probably, ADHD problems, or, we so used to multitasking on everything. How can we step back and do that with those goals that we have in place? Are you getting where I'm coming from?
So
I'm sorry, go ahead.
So Oceana, this is what I'm going to advise you. And that's why I said earlier about this whole vision board, hype that a lot of people get into. Now, I mean, I can't then there would be no point of having the workshop, where I can't tell you all the details. But one thing about vision setting, right, is there has to be a why around that goal. There has to be, why am I doing this? Because let me take you down the road of, you got to start asking yourself, like, year after year, I write down my goals. I'm still in the same place. I'm still stuck, right? But where do I really want to be? Where do I want to go? What is the life I envision? I want to be, for example, I want to be out of debt. I want to move into a new home. I want to be able to set up college scholarships for my children, savings. I want to, and the list goes on, right? Those are the whys. I believe when you have your reasons, and it doesn't have to be materialistic, it could be peace of mind, just having simple peace of mind. Or I want more time to myself. I don't want to, for people who want to move from, maybe working for someone else to working for themselves. It's okay. My why is, I want to have more control of my time and how I, utilize my skill set. So I want to be in control of that. Okay. But what happens is, what you're talking about is real. This ADHD thing is real. Attention deficit disorder, right? We come into a place where we say we've written out the goals, and okay, so it's Monday. All right, I'm going to work on this. And then we get distracted because I believe we've not put our why in front of us daily. You're not putting that why in front of you, because if you put that why in front of you, it will force you to say, you know what? I better get on this. Like, for example, your health, right? I'll give an example. I had a health crisis in 2020. And guess what I'm now starting to do? Back in the day when everyone would tell me, Vanessa, you need to rest. Vanessa, you need to eat. I would skip meals. It wasn't like I was even overeating. I would skip meals, all kinds of things I was doing. But guess what? When I landed in that hospital, right? A couple of times in 2020, and thankfully, every time they tested me, I didn't have COVID. So I kept coming out of the hospital, no COVID. I'm like, okay, God, thank you. But then here I am now. I have a health, concern. And it's forced me to put my why. And what is my why? I want to live long to take care of my kids. I want to be there for my 2 children. So guess what? I'm going to prioritize my rest. I'm not going to take on more than I need to take on. And we were talking about earlier, Melodic, about asking for help. I'm going to ask for help. I'm not going to say I can do it all. And when I put my mind to something, I'm going to do it, because now that scare I had in the hospital has made me say to myself, tomorrow is not guaranteed to me. So I think you have to start putting whys in front of every goal, so that, you can come out of this place of, oh, I want to do this and I want to do that. And it's not a shopping mall. I want this dress today and I want that tomorrow. Then you start to, and what Crystal said was so key, writing it down and prioritizing. But along with prioritizing, you have to put your why. Why am I doing this? Oceana, you and I talk. You know your whys. So I need you to put those whys in front. I need them, like when we do the vision board, and I take you guys through this process, you guys are going to be like, whoa. It's a process I literally, took from my corporate training. And I brought into the into the business coaching thing, because I started asking myself, I'm like, why is it that women pay for workshops, webinars, and they keep being in the same place over and over, downloading all the ebooks and workbooks and hiring all these coaches? Why are y'all still stuck? It's because you haven't wrapped your mind around how these large corporations are doing it. And guess what? They have a why. They always have a why, because you know why? They have stakeholders and shareholders. Crystal, you know what I'm saying is true. They know at the end of that annual fiscal period, somebody is breathing down their neck. So there's no time for distraction. There's no time for, let me start, getting my mind and wrapped in different things. So you have to ask yourself, who are your stakeholders in this vision that you're building? Who are the people that are going to benefit from it? Right? It's beyond you. I think if you take yourself, and I said this to another lady earlier, and I'm going to say to you too, take yourself out of the equation. Oceana, take yourself out of that picture. If something happens to you today and the people who depend on you need your income, what will happen? And when I said that to that woman, she literally like froze. Because when you take yourself,
it ran some chills down my body when you asked that.
Right?
Because that's a big why. This is why I'm doing it.
When a lot, and in our community, I know we don't like to talk about it, but I like to go there. I've gotten over that whole thing from maybe when I was young. I was always scared of death. Now I started to think, when you think longevity and you think beyond you and you're building beyond yourself. So as I'm building now, I'm thinking about my 2 daughters. I'm thinking, if I'm not here, what I'm building, can they take it on? So yes, my 8-year-old is already in entrepreneurship boot camp. Like, she wants to start a business. I'm like, honey, let's go. Let's do it. Because I started to think beyond myself. You can't keep thinking I'm building this thing or because I think what's happening with a lot of us, and I also had to get this reality check. We have this arrogance, procrastination, whatever you want to call it, ADHD. Well, not ADHD. ADHD is a real, like, clinical diagnosis. So I don't want to like belittle it. It's real. Now, I'll just put it in this context. Procrastination, putting things off, right? Another way of procrastinating. Over multitasking, right? Multitasking, never getting anything done. Analysis paralysis. All these things we do to ourselves to self-sabotage, because that's what we're doing. We self-sabotage ourselves out of our goals and our dreams, right? It comes from a place of arrogance that tomorrow is guaranteed to you. Put that, another thing besides putting your why is start to tell yourself, look, my days are numbered. I'm not always going to be here. So yes, time is of the essence and I need to do what I need to do. So guess what? If it requires me staying up all night to get it done, it needs to get done. And I'm preaching to myself as I say this. It needs to get done. Take yourself out of the equation. Think about those that rely on you. All right. Anyone else? Anything else? Crystal, you want to add to that?
Yeah, I wanted to say thank you, Crystal. I wanted you to add to that. I know you wouldn't finish. I think being reminded of your why is really important, so you stay focused on your goal. But encouraging you every day to have that list. Maybe you have a weekly checklist in mind. Me personally, I have a weekly list. My weekly list is divided into days, and my days only have so many hours, and my work doesn't get all those hours. You don't get a set number of hours. So some things are hour time, some things are 30-minute tasks. But I remind you, I do it for those that I love.
Yes.
And so you have to truly remember why you're doing what you're doing. Whatever your goal is that it's important that you meet in your business. Whether it's a financial goal, whether it's a marketing goal, whether it's just you waking up and being proud to say, I did it. Maybe it's just you. Maybe you're proving this just to yourself, because it's your passion project. I think it's really, really important to prioritize your time. And Vanessa's absolutely right. Finding your why, making it the forefront of why you get up every day, and then prioritizing your day into time blocks. And being honest with yourself. Listen, if you know you like to have a 2-hour lunch,
have it.
You align with it. You just have a 2-hour lunch.
Yes, yes, sis.
You know what I'm saying? Because there's no rule that says that you only get 30-minute lunch. If you're no longer on that rat race wheel of being limited on your time, give yourself a 2-hour lunch. Maybe you eat for an hour. Maybe you shop online or go to the store for an hour. It's up to you.
Yes.
But you put that in your schedule because that means something to you and that matters.
Exactly.
So I would just tell you to do that. And if you need to put that in your phone every day, You set alarms for every single thing. Oh, the alarm going off. About 45 minutes is over. It's 9 o'clock. I'm supposed to be moving on to the next task. That's supposed to start at 9:30. I think that's what I'm gonna start doing with my Alexa.
There you go.
Set your clock.
Yes. Thank you guys so much.
Oh, you're welcome.
All right, ladies, I'm sticking to my promise. I'm over time. So I hope you guys really enjoyed tonight. And whatever topics I can think about or others in my group can think about, or you guys have any topics you want us to kind of talk about, we are here. Like, send us a DM. DM me, ask, I'm thinking about this. What do you think? Because I think if we share more and get into rooms like this and we ask those questions that others have, the same question you have, another sister is thinking about it. So let's get in these rooms. Thank you all so much for coming on this evening. Oceana, thank you. Melody, thank you. DeWanda, thank you. And Crystal, of course, thank you for adding and lending your voice to us. We really do appreciate you.
Well, thank you for having me.
All right. All right, ladies, that's it for today. Take care. Bye.
Bye.
All right. So for those on Facebook, YouTube, that was it. Hopefully you've learned a lot tonight. Today was an open discussion talking to women about how to get unstuck. And if you heard the ladies, they were asking questions about different topics. So how do I manage my time? I feel stuck because I'm multitasking. I have various things I'm doing. Sometimes I get distracted, so hopefully some of the tips we shared tonight helped. Or, I feel like I'm drowning, and we talked about outsourcing to help you come out of that place of multitasking and drowning yourself in your business. So hopefully you enjoyed today's broadcast. It's been great. It's your girl, V, the Business Wiz. All right. Take care. Coming to you from Meant for Her. All right. Take care. Bye. All right. That's it. On.